Yo, 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 what's up, lifers? What's up, lifers? What's up, lifers? This is Dave Life. This is Dave Life. Fumbling over my words there. It's Dave Life, man. You watch Dave Life After Dark, episode number 263. Dave Life After Dark, episode number 263. Never play with a man's blank. You fill in the blank. Let's start this off like we always do, you guys, the right way. I appreciate everyone for joining us. You could have been here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight. So I want to say thank you, man. Let's start this off like we always do, the right way. Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people, Lord. Father, I pray less of me and more of you. Have your way, Lord. Father, we give you praise, glory, and honor, Lord. We ask that you would just make this a great conversation. Let it be enlightening, entertaining, and informing. And let us help someone tonight. Help us get to the bottom of some things. We give you all praise and honor. Forgive us for sins that we have committed by commission and omission. And again, we give you all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up, man? We back. We in the building. It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook, and we're live on Twitter. So thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate y'all, man. Man, I got a few people I'm gonna bring up today. I got some of my day ones, and some people that have been with me long before the gram. So let's start off with our normal guest host, our guest panelist. This young lady right here, she's always ready to go. She's been really supporting the podcast, helping do things in terms of preparation and encouragement and organization. We call her a girl, but she's a grown woman. But she is that girl. Come on up to the stage, my friend, that girl, Sophie. What's up,
Hello.
Sophie?
Hello, Instagram. Hello, YouTube.
What's up, Sophie? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You good?
Yes.
All right, good. Shout out to Instagram. They seeing us right now. What up, Graham?
Yes.
What up to the gram? So Sophie, tonight we're gonna get into something very interesting. So I just think about it. Don't even say nothing yet. Just think. When you see this, what do you think of? Never play with a man's ...
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything. I just want you to
sleeping. Okay.
just think about it. All right. I got another young lady that's gonna help me out. She has definitely been a supporter of the show and a helper. She's kind of like Batman. She comes into Justice League as a part-time member only when needed. She is a Jamaican goddess. Somebody asked her, was her last name Pie? And I don't know. It might be. Come on to the stage, Susie Pie. What's up, Susie?
Hi,
What's up, Jamaican goddess? How you feel?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Susie, I knew that you would appreciate this topic because you always ask men. You're like, yo, what do the men say, Dave? I got a question for the men. You always do that.
All the time.
All right. So keep your thoughts, on this crazy subject here. Never play with a man's. Just think on it, Susie. I'm coming to you in a second. I have another young lady that's going to help. We're going to go 3 in a row. This young lady right here has been supportive of me since episode. Man, I think your first episode was episode 20 something. I looked it up the other day. I was like, wow, she's really been supportive of After Dark. She's seen the maturation of the show. She met me before I found my destiny, and she's still supporting after I found my destiny. Come on to the stage, Parrish Blair, the owner of Sexy Spirit TV. What's up, Parrish?
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for including me in the conversation today.
Absolutely, Parrish. Now we see you looking real comfortable. Where are you at these days?
I'm living in Hawaii for the summer, manifesting a really big thing.
Nice. Well, listen, welcome to the show. We have a long history on the show. The episode tonight, Parrish, just think about it. Never play with a man's ... Just think about it. That's the first topic. All right. Never play with. This is gonna be interesting. All right, and look, to help me out, I gotta have brothers come to the stage. There's another portion of the show, which is the really and truly, you guys. The first question that we were gonna ask everybody tonight was more related to. This is funny, but it could be serious, so I'm just gonna show it. Hey, fellas, I need y'all to come to the stage, and I'm not gonna ask y'all about never playing with a man. Blah blah blah. We can figure out what you shouldn't play with. But here's one. Why do men sit in the car before they go in the house? Why do men sit in the car before they go in the house? All right, let me ask some of the fellas. I got my homeboy. He is Estevan, the barber. All I can say is, man, this is my guy. I know S for years. Come on up to the stage, S.
Hey,
What up,
how
S?
y'all doing? How y'all doing? YouTube, we doing it for the gram. And
Facebook and everything else. We live.
man, we live. This is gonna be interesting.
Don't answer, but just think. The two questions. One, why do men sit in the car, right, before they go in the house? Why do men sit in the car before they go in the house? And then the other question was, and this is, get your mind out of the gutter, but be serious, y'all. Never play with a man's. That can mean anything. So I'm leaving that open-ended on purpose. Never play with a man's whatever. All right.
Mhm.
All right. And then I got my homeboy, my brother from another mother. This man right here had my back since, man, I remember he came to my 40th birthday party. And so did you, Ask. Remember that 40th birthday party?
I did.
Hey, cheers, bro. Cheers. This one right here, he's a U.S. veteran. He simply goes by the name Rod. Come on to the stage, my homeboy, Sherrod. What up, Rod?
What's good, family? How y'all doing, man? We good?
Yo,
What's up, S?
what it do, man?
Hey, P,
S.
hey, Sue, hey, so. I feel like I'm Master P right now. Hey, Mom, hey, P.
All right, so the topic at hand is we're going to start with the first one. Now, some people might think that this is kind of tongue-in-cheek. Some people might think that it can be serious. I left it open-ended on purpose, y'all. A lot of times, men, married men that have a live-in girlfriend, a wife, a partner, when you come home from work, sometimes the man will sit in his car. He'll sit in his car. I'm not trying to lead y'all down a path, but men will sit in his car. In this case, it's Sterling K. Brown. He's in the TV show This Is Us. And that was a scene right there where he had a lot going on. So you could read into that. Why does a man look like that when he's sitting in the car? Right. Or we could just go from the general topic of what is a man doing when he's just sitting in the car? He didn't come in the house yet. And I'm sure a lot of women try to wonder, why? Like, what is going on? So I have a clip to show us that'll kind of illustrate an idea. And then what I would like to do is go around the room clockwise. We'll start with the ladies and we'll get the ladies' opinions and what they think, because fellas, this is important. I'm curious to know what women think we be doing when we sitting in the car. What are they thinking? And then fellas, I'm counting on y'all because I'm moderating. I will give my opinion, but I'm counting on y'all to hold it down for the fellas and tell us the truth. Don't hold back. What the hell do we be thinking when we? That's why That's why I invited y'all. I knew my brothers to have my back. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna play this clip, you guys, so that we can get an idea. Now, this clip is, I get a lot of memes off the internet. I'm gonna play the clip. It's already laughing. Listen, I'm gonna play the clip. First of all, ask why. Okay, let's just talk. Ask why are you laughing? What? Y'all tell me why y'all laughing, man? What?
Hold on. Let me hold on. Okay, all right. It's a lot going on in that house, man.
Start. I haven't even played the clip, but
Hold on. You ain't got to play the clip.
It's a lot going on in that house. Hey, he's taking a deep breath. Like he's really trying to pull it together right now.
He is. He's trying to get his life right.
Like he don't know if he really want to keep on hitting the gas or he don't want to turn the car off. Like he's contemplating some things right there. Like look at him. Like he got his chin up in the air. He's like, I'm fed up with this shit. Like I know what's going to happen as soon as I walk in. As soon as I walk in the doors, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you gotta look.
Shit.
Sherrod, any reaction before I even play? This is pre-video reaction.
Yeah, well, first of all, the nigga's fat as hell. Okay, let's start there. You know, he already lied and said he went to the gym, and he did not go anywhere near the gym, sir. And she knows he didn't go to the gym because he answered the phone accidentally because she called.
Let him have his dad bod, man. As a man with a dad bod, leave that man alone.
So if I'm just looking at this for the first time, I'm assuming, I don't want to judge, but being that you need a lot of great explanations for the way he looked, he literally just got off the phone arguing with her. He just hung up the phone. And he just said, every time we have a simple conversation, this motherfucker is getting on my nerves. And I gotta agree. And the reason that S laughed, because we had the same thought. You know what? I just need to say, put your mom on the phone. Put your mom on the phone. Hey, I ain't coming home, nigga. I ain't coming home.
Hey, baby, it's me. Right. Damn. Baby, it's me. I ain't never coming home.
Put your mom on the phone.
If y'all don't know, that's a reference to Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
My man, old girl had coochie so good she threw it over the air, turned to sunshine. The white man got with sunshine. He called home after he got with sunshine and said, yeah, son. Yeah, it's me. Put your mom on the phone. Hey, baby, it's me.
I ain't coming home.
I ain't never coming home. And hung up. No explanation. He went with sunshine.
I don't like to see that.
Most men that sit in the car have that thought process, but I'm just saying.
Wow. So, okay, we couldn't even play the clip. And my man is like, geez, Louise.
Hey, a facial expression says 1,000 words, man. Like that picture says that picture. I mean, everything was on the table when he just got through saying. Like, you were saying that maybe he's got the phone with her, and the argument was over. You was at the bar, and I heard women in the background.
I heard women.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Who is you with? I'm at a bar, man. It's happy hour.
Well, all this escalated quickly just off of the picture alone. It really just went.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, women, y'all have power. Look at him. Look at him.
That's power.
That's power.
We have power.
Y'all have power. Look at him. He's done. Like he's done.
See, this is the difference. Women don't sit in the car contemplating like that. They go to the action.
We actually do.
Oh yeah,
we do.
Do y'all? That's interesting.
Yeah,
I thought y'all to get out the car and go fuck up our day.
Not just at home, but we do it in the parking lot at work too.
Right. Yeah. It's usually on the way going into work or when we come home. See, what y'all don't see in a woman's portfolio is that we got two kids in the back that fell asleep on the way home. So we're just kind of sitting before we go inside. And on some occasions, if we didn't have to pick up the kids or got nobody in the back seat, we may just sit and wait till when the lights go out.
To do what? To do what? What are you doing?
Because we don't want to talk.
Oh,
we may just wait till when we
say what? Say what?
The TV turn off.
When don't y'all want to talk?
Bedroom light off, and then we'll come inside.
No, but I think too, so.
But men have this situation more. So this is really yours. But I'm just saying that there are some occasions.
Wait, hold on. You said you might not want to talk. Y'all are the king of or queens of. We need to talk.
That's
like not after.
That's why he's sitting in the car because he's getting himself ready to hear the lesson of talking.
I really didn't see that. I see a man who's probably stressed from his day. He obviously doesn't have any self-discipline because of the size of his I feel like he does have something still left. He's grooming himself. He still can get that together, but he has a lot to say that he just does. And it's daytime, so he's coming home at a decent hour. He's just frustrated, not because of what he has to come home to. It may be what he may have been through, and then he has to maybe may not be in an environment where he can self-correct or be open and sharing, but I'm interested on that white button, pressing play.
Pushing the button and see.
Really what's going
I'm
on.
definitely interested, but it got
Sophie,
so good. First of all, it got so good. Go ahead, S, and then I'm gonna respond. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this real quick. Sophie, I'm gonna tell you what he's like. I got to go inside and deal with the kids. I got to deal with her. She's gonna bombard me as soon as I hit the key. Oh, with where you been? Go through all that. And what's really pressing him is he called his weed man, and the dude was like, didn't have no weed for him. So
okay.
now he
on
a sober mind, he got to go inside and deal with this.
All right. So
deal with what? His responsibilities.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So first of all, welcome to the stage, Dope Female Trainer. What's up, Shaq?
That's good.
No.
Shaq, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. Welcome to the stage, Dope Female Trainer. Shaq Gervin is in the building. Welcome back, Shaq. We just got started. The topic tonight is 2 topics, and we're gonna go around the room. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me reorder everything because we had the men going last, but the men jumped in. The men jumped in.
Because every man has sat in the car and had that posture. Every man.
Okay.
Real men. Some cats don't even get to that level.
So we're going to go around the room, and we're going to get reactions. Tonight's topic, the first topic that we're talking about is why do men sit in the car before they go in the house? Why do men sit in the car? Now, again, this is Sterling K. Brown, and it's not that clear, but you can clearly see that he's in distress. He's in distress. This is from the TV show This Is Us.
I ain't never been there. I ain't never had that look.
Sterling sitting in the car. Sterling said, I just lost my mama.
Sterling going through it, yo. Sterling,
I left my job as an attorney.
He going through it.
Left my job as an attorney. I just lost my mama.
Shout out to Sterling K. Brown. He's going through it, man.
It's a lot going on in that picture right there.
And listen, and if y'all have never seen this scene, listen, he's in a nice Mercedes Benz. He's about to take a drive. There's a family of ducks that just crossed in front of his car. And when he saw the family of ducks, he just fucking lost it. I'm sorry.
Or they kicked him out of Wakanda and they didn't let him come back.
They kicked him out of Wakanda. Right.
Get out of here.
Right.
Giving away trade secrets. Get out of here.
He's one conversation from breaking down.
Yeah,
bruh, yes.
I guess we'll never know.
You know.
Play the clip. So
okay, we'll play it. Now I don't have a clip of Sterling, but I got a clip of this guy right here. So I don't have Sterling, but I got the husband here. Now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. let's listen to see what the husband is going through. Okay.
This shit classic.
How about that?
Gosh, why are you still sitting in the car? I need help. Okay, time out for 1 sec. Let's talk about why he might be sitting in his car. What environment is he walking into when he comes home and the first thing out of your mouth is demands to jump into action and start helping, and or he's coming into an environment that is just full of chaos? It can be very overwhelming to his mind, his emotions, his nervous system. He likely is sitting to just catch his breath for a few minutes because his home maybe has become not a super welcoming and exciting environment. You do need help and you deserve to have his support. I'm not saying that you don't. It would make all the difference in the world if when he walks in that door, he's celebrated. He's appreciated, and maybe he's even given 10, 20, 30 minutes to like decompress and chill out a little bit before he jumps into the activity of the day. Listen, you might also need a little bit of downtime too, and that's fine. Maybe you guys can talk about a system where he takes a little downtime, then you go chill out for a few minutes. Shift the way that you welcome your husband into the home. I bet you the time he spends in his car will be less and less because he'll be excited for the environment he's coming home to instead of dreading it.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, I want y'all to understand this clip was set up, and all my man did was exhale. And we just had a 2-minute clip, and all he did was exhale. He just went. All right. So the lady just said a lot. The men have already kind of preempted the strike. But since Sophie, you are the first person we're going clockwise. Sophie, why do men sit in the car before they go in the house? You have 2 minutes.
I don't know. He would have to come into the house and tell me why. Because my partner, you can sit in the car and decompress. I have no problem with you wrapping up a phone call, you listening to your playlist. I am not going to be so frustrated with you that I'm going to bombard you with stuff. You're going to come home to opening the door and smelling something good to eat. You're going to be allowed to have your 20, 30 minutes to decompress. I'm actually going to ask you, what percent are you on? I'm going to say, hey, I'm at a good 70. What you got? You may say 40. I already know what type of time it is. And that's how we're gonna move in my world. I know in some worlds it's all that. But in my world, I'm not on that type of time where I'm peering out the window, encroaching on his personal time. I don't have a type of time. I don't have enough energy because I am gonna be in the house taking care of kids, my day. So that's just less than my 2 minutes because I don't need that much because I'm busy. I have my own life. I'm not expecting him to come in, not knowing what his day is like, to come in and help me. I'm going to respect that the man has different ways that he has to decompress. And I'm going to allow him 20 to 30 minutes to have that moment. And then after that, we'll talk about that. So he may be nervous about that after the 30 minutes, but we won't have those problems. Not here.
I love that response.
Okay. All right. Susie, why do men sit in the car? Everyone go on mute because I'm getting I hear a little background noise. Susie, why do men sit in the car before they come in the house? Uh-oh. Susie, can you hear me?
Okay, so for men that are highly regarded in their household, the head of the house, he has to change uniforms. He has to switch roles so that he can be effective once he gets into the house. So if he has a rough job, let's say he's in law enforcement or anything that's stressful, he doesn't want to bring that energy into the home because so many people are depending on him to also show up just as he did at work. He has to show up with that same energy for his family and whoever's in the household. So he has to sit in the car and get himself together. And if he's not allowed that time, there he might snap or he might react in a way that's he didn't want to because he didn't get that time to decompress. So he needs to decompress and change uniforms from the work field to family man. That's why he's sitting in the car.
Okay. All right. He has to change from work field, so he's got to kind of take off uniforms. Okay.
And put on his other one.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Quell in the building. What's up, Quell? He said, man's going through it. He said, it's going through it. Yeah. You know what? I do think I think we're live on YouTube, even though we weren't supposed to be. Yeah, we are. All right. Well, there it is. We're live. That's how life goes. What's up to YouTube, man? All right. Parrish, why does a man sit in his car before he goes in the house? Unmute yourself for me, Parrish. You're on mute. There you go.
He's decompressing from the day, listening to music or a podcast. I kind of cheated a little bit and just reached out and asked men that are clients and members and friends, and they said making calls, enjoying solitude, finishing a task, preparing for home, like the sisters or the brothers were talking about, like before you go in. And I think the sisters were saying they've got to decompress or switch their mindset. Some people said reflecting on the day, avoiding immediate demands, enjoying a snack or a drink, checking messages and social media, and just maybe they haven't had any me time or any any time to just do anything other than think about the family and all of those things. So I would like to say to any women who are constantly worrying about, is he cheating, is he doing something wrong? Good guys that get married, that really wanted you, that could do anything they wanted to do, and they were doing that before they got you, it's not that complicated. Whatever they're doing is something that they probably deserve, and I think the other sisters already said the rest of it. So
Okay, whatever they're doing is probably something they deserve. I like that. Good men that get married, they could have did whatever they wanted to, could have did that before they met you. They probably ain't doing nothing wrong, ladies. They wanted you. Please keep that in mind. I love that.
Facts.
All right, Shaq Gervin, dope female trainer. What do men be doing? Why do they sit in the car before they go in the house?
To avoid hell.
To
So
avoid hell.
they're avoiding the woes of their relationship, because there is it's very evident that a man who wants to be at home, he don't need to take much time to be in the car because he want to go see his woman. There's a thing called happiness. And if you're sitting in your car for 20, 30 minutes, let's say outside of the work or whatever, when you get off work, you off work. I'm ready to go on and get to my man or get to my female. If he's sitting outside looking the way that man looks, it's because, oh my God, do I want to go in the house or do I want to just sleep in the car? It's because he's trying to avoid the hell that's in the house. It's just as simple. He's avoiding the not being appreciated. He's avoiding the cackling. He's avoiding the woes of his relationship because it's unstable. It is he's going through a lot of emotional distress. He has a high level of low self-esteem because he can't manage his household, or because it's just straight hell in the house, and he just does not want to be a part of it. So he's trying to figure out, how do I get myself ready to go and fight? So rather than taking off of his armor, he keeps his armor on because it's gonna be hell when he get in the house.
He keeps his armor on instead of taking it off. Listen. All right. So look, we here to the fellas. We got S, we got Rod. All right, fellas. I think y'all have already answered a lot of this. We laughed. It was tongue in cheek. We saw that my man was going through it. But some good things were said. The lady said, I don't know why he's sitting out there. Some lady said, hey, we do it too. We sit out there. So I get it. You need a minute, right? Other lady said he's got to take off his one outfit, his one Batman uniform, and put on his Superman uniform. He had to take off the work outfit and put on the family outfit or mindset. Parrish actually talked to men. A lot of men said, hey, man, I might be decompressing. I might smoke a cigarette. I might watch something on YouTube. I might whatever, right? It was a lot of things that were said from various different men. And then dope female trainer said he trying to avoid hell. It's hell in the crib. All right, gentlemen, it's an open unconnect your unmute from you, Sherrod. I could let y'all go dolo, or I could let y'all just tag team it. Anybody who want to step up first? Why do men sit in the car, fellas, before they go out?
Go ahead.
So for me, honestly, I know we had a lot of banter back and forth with my man because of how he looked, right? We were judging him by how he looked, because all men, in my opinion, have had that look before. Honestly, a lot of times I sit in the car, I'm finishing up business, I'm finishing up a call, and I know that my house does have a tendency to be at an optimal level that I don't need to be in talking about business. So a lot of times I need to sit in the car because it's a quiet space, just so I can really focus and give whoever I'm on the phone with my undivided attention. Now, there are some times that I need to think of something to go in the house because something has happened or transpired that day with me and my significant other, or me and my kids, or me and my mom, or me and my dad, that I need to think about how I'm going to, what vantage point I'm going to come with, right? How I'm going to mop up something that happened from this morning that didn't start off on the right foot. It lingered throughout the course of the day. And now we're at the end of the day and it never got resolved. So sometimes it's just a matter of me saying, you know what, how am I going to handle this shit? I can take two ways. I can be an asshole about it, and say it wasn't my fault, or I can be a little bit more empathetic or sympathetic towards whatever that situation may be. It all boils down to communication. I like what Sophie said earlier, and I like what somebody else said. I think it was Paris. She said, "Look, sometimes you just gotta like talk to the person, right? You just gotta understand and talk to them about my man ain't coming home to that. He coming home for this, and what percentage are you at?" That goes back to the fundamentals of a relationship, and that goes back to communication. If you know what type of man you got, then you need to be doing certain things to ensure that that man doesn't have that distress, or he doesn't have that unreadiness, or he doesn't have those things. You know the person you with, but I think men also have to practice that same resolve, right? They got to do the same thing, but I think it goes back to the whole armor. I think men are different than women. We carry that. We don't carry our job home with us. When we out outside of work, we outside of work. We ain't bitching and complaining when we get home, but it's still there, right? It's still present. It's still relevant. We might not talk about it because it's hard for us to express ourselves until we get older. And when we get older, we get more compassionate. When we get more compassionate, we have a tendency to talk more. Sometimes we need women to yearn and pull that out of us, right? So we can be comfortable and vulnerable to talk to them, because it's hard for us. It's very hard, especially when you got an A-type personality, man like myself, who thinks he can accomplish and do all things, right? And I don't really need to express my feelings, but I couldn't be so wrong. Sometimes that needs to happen. But you might have a spouse that you cannot go to that level. We talked about this a couple of after dark episodes earlier. You can't go on a deep dive with certain people because they don't empathize with you. It's all about them, and you have to be very not only resourceful as a spouse, but you also have to be empathetic to say, well, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here to listen. Because I know sometimes I have to catch myself, because I think I've been told like a lot. No, I don't know a lot, but it just seems like I would be in certain situations that you are in because I would handle it different. Well, why would you say that? What the motherfucker, you asked me for my advice? I'm trying to give you what I would do. You asked me what I would do. I'm telling you what I would do. It's just it all boils down to communication. So
Communication. All right, I like that communication. Got to
So,
decompress.
so
Hold on,
I kind of,
somebody's
can you hear
clicking.
me?
What's that clicking? What is that
Oh,
banging?
they shooting outside.
yeah, that or the nigga just shut the door and he just get out the car.
Hold on, that's why a man stay in the car, because he's like, sheesh.
No, I kind of go back to when I was married, and when I had to deal with it. It's been quite some times I had to deal with that type of situation. But I remember when I was married, and I came. And I was so. Let me put it in context of everything. I just opened up a shop on Melrose. Dave, you know about the shop.
Yep.
The shop was very beautiful. It was on Melrose, which is a prime spot in LA. It was a lot of pressure on me to make this shop work. And I was dealing with a lot of different people within the shop, from my business partners to his son to his cousins. And a lot of shit was going on behind the scenes, behind my back. And not only that, I have to deal with the stylists and the barbers. And if you all go to barbershops or salons, so you know what goes on inside of a barbershop and salon. And they can be drama within itself. So now I'm trying to make a spot on Melrose at a time being uniform, where black people are being uniform. Everybody has on the same color every day, and this, that, and the third. And we're putting everything out there, and I'm dealing with people that don't want to do this, and and barbers and hairstylists. They're very much individuals. They don't want to work for anyone. That's
Yep.
why they probably became barbers. So now in this situation, they have to work for someone, or not. They're still independent contractors. Let me take that back. But within that, you have to conform to a certain platform that we're trying to establish and sell to the people. So I'm getting a lot of pushback at work. So now, if I come home and my home life isn't peaceful, like the lady said, where I'm gonna give him, what percentage you on? I love what you said. What percentage are you on? You on 40? Okay, I see where you at. Okay, it's been that type of day. I'll take whatever I need to talk to you. I'll take it and I'll holler at you later on when you get up to 75. Instead of as soon as I hit the door, well, and I'm feeling like, and it sounds just like that when it comes out your mouth. To be honest with you, like you're not hearing nothing. It's just a lot of noise. So I take time to decompress. And I remember you telling my ex, I was like, look, let me get in the house for 30 minutes and let me get my feet up under me. And whatever it is we got to handle here, I'm gonna handle it. But give me that time. Don't hit me at the door as soon as I walk in. You've been holding on to whatever you've been holding on all day. And now as soon as you see me, you just and I just got through fighting. And I used to tell her I can't fight in the street and come home and fight. And I'm not gonna fight in the street and come home and fight. I know I gotta fight in the street. I know that because that's where I gotta eat. But I'm not gonna come home and fight. I'm not gonna do it. So we used to go through those type of situations. So that's why I laughed when I seen the picture of the dude's face. Now, I did not the dude crying. He looked like he was at the end. I was never there.
Right.
He looked like he was about to fold. He looked like he was about to fold his chair and jump off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? It was it. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, times where I was like, all right, my son is 15, 14, or 13, 14, and I just got custody of him, and I'm trying to get him implemented in school and trying to make sure he's on the right path. And my ex she's finding her career, trying to figure out what she's doing. I'm just building a new shop on Melrose with a larger man, and I got all this, and I'm trying to manage all that. And women, they got their issues at work, and they like to come home and talk about their issues at work. And I'm like, shit, you don't have no idea. I just dealing with a motherfucker. I just asked to put on his jacket on because everybody else got their jacket on, and they was like, I don't need to put my jacket on. I want to call her, but I don't even use those words. But that's where I was at. Sometimes that's where you be at when you be dealing with some people that don't know how to understand business. And I was like, and I had to go to my office and come back and decompress in my office and talk about it, walk around the block. Because I'm dealing with people that don't, it just they want to be individuals. They don't want to be part of a group. And to make a salon where you have men and women go together and everything runs smooth, or just in men, period. Any men or just women, you have to have a group of people that work together and want to work together in harmony. And sometimes it's hard to find that fix. I've tried it a few times. It's hard to find that good fit. And I was dealing with that, and then come home and have to deal with something that's really minute. How come we ain't going out tonight? I got to work at 8 this morning. Had to get the shop prepared to be open at 10. I just got off at 9. Where's dinner?
Okay. So S, let me ask the group a question here. Well, actually, you know what, Sophie, I'm gonna do the facilitator / participant thing. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna participate right now. I used to come home when I was married, back in the day. S, same damn thing. You drive home, you done fought with the world, you done fought with the white man, you done fought with whatever's going on out there in the world, trying to make $1. And you know what, right? Maybe me and the ex had a disagreement the morning of. And I've been so busy at work, we haven't had time to talk about nothing. So we still in the same place we were when I'm pulling up to the crib. And I used to say this. My ex had come home and she couldn't rest until the house was clean. Like as soon as she hit the door, pow, just grabbing, moving, doing stuff. She couldn't rest till the house was clean. I was the exact opposite. I couldn't clean the house till I was at rest. We were diametrically opposed. As soon as I get home, I don't want to hear, because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, y'all. It sounds like I can't even get in. Hey, good day. Hey, loved one. Anything. Nothing. Just yelling immediately. So yeah, I sit in the car for a second, play something, relax, just come off of my day. I had a long day at work. Everything was
What
true. Blah,
these?
blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And then you walk in the crib and like Susie said, I used to call it putting on my Superman suit or whatever. I gotta put that on my chest. Cause no matter what I walk in, I gotta be invulnerable. You know what I'm saying? That's rough. That's rough because you're not always able to make the shift. You're not always able to make the shift. I'm gonna put you on mute for a minute, S. You're not always able to make the shift, man. Like it's hard to put off the world and then put on the husband, especially when you feel like the husband ain't appreciated, right? Because you're playing a role. That role ain't appreciated. You don't appreciate my performance. You don't appreciate my sincerity. You don't appreciate my preparation. I ain't ready to play this role right now. I want to take a break. Right? Any comment on that part in terms of just having to feel like you got to be Superman? You're on mute. Come off mute for me. Come off mute, Sherrod.
I think every grown man who's at a certain age in his life, who's had a certain commitment to anyone or anything, i.e., whether that be someone, an individual, a family member, or a job or a career, yeah, they always feel like they're Superman. There's so many vices that are devised in life to attack you and push you down, especially as a black man or a black male, that when you get home, a lot of times you don't want to hear the bullshit. But again, it goes back to you got to know the person you with. And if that person is showing you early on that they got signs of not being compassionate, not listening to you, and you're always in listen mode, you're always pouring into them, but they're not pouring into you. What happens is we get preoccupied in getting tossed with women.
Right.
And they show us the signs like this is the woman you should not be with. Right? Or a man does the same thing. This is the man I should not be with. Just because y'all had one night and it was fun, that doesn't mean you should be with him. Because ultimately you're going to need certain things poured into you because of your profession or before whatever commitment you have outside the house. And if they're not doing that early on in the early stages, I don't feel, me personally, that it develops if the other person is not willing to develop that. And a lot of women that I've seen, not a lot, but some, their husbands will come home and say, hey, I need this from you. It's very direct. It's very resolute. And for some women, for some reason, it now becomes a commitment for a woman to do it. And when they don't do it, the guy says, no. I told you I needed X, Y, and Z. This is what helps me. Because I think women have a better communicative aspect of them that tells you that, babe, I need you to do this. Babe, I need you to do that. Men don't do well at that. But then too, you got to know your person you're with to know when he's not at 40%, when he is at 75, because the nonverbal speaks way more than the verbal. His body language is dragging. He left something in the car. You told him to bring something home. He didn't bring it home. He normally doesn't do that. Okay, babe, what's going on? Let's sit down. Let's take a break. Let's relax. But see, that becomes selfless. And a lot of people aren't selfless. And they have to be in order to get to where they need to be. So yeah, absolutely, they got to be Superman because they got to compartmentalize what's going on outside and then what's going to happen inside that home or that house or wherever they're at too. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So,
That shit ain't easy. Because if it was easy, everybody be single.
all right. So I got this question for the group. Ladies, come on off of mute. Everybody come off of mute. Ladies, why do some men, especially the lady in the video was saying about herself to her man, I guess. Why do some ladies bombard you as soon as you hit the door? Why does a man have to sit in a car for 30 minutes to decompress when maybe he could come into the house and decompress? Because the lady in the video was saying, hey, why don't you try where's it at? The lady in the video was saying stuff like, hey, why don't you try to um make the environment pleasurable for your man so he doesn't feel like he has to fight his way into the door, or maybe it's just full of chaos and he needs a moment. Why do some women hit a man with chaos or hit a man with questions or bombard a man and don't give him a chance? It's open floor, whoever
I
want to
think
answer.
that I think that's a sign of a good man that's unappreciated because it seems like women like that are spoiled. They're used to getting all of his attention. If they didn't get so much attention, they wouldn't react like that. So the moments where he
Mm.
can't give it to them, they don't understand that they have to stand down for a moment because that man is usually giving them that attention. So they don't know how to go without it.
Do you think he coddled her into that? Like he spoiled her? Or do you think that's a sign of her being needy? Or do you think she just got a lot going on and she just really needs his attention?
She's she's needy and he was providing those needs on a regular basis to the point that she's spoiled. And instead of
Mm.
being appreciative of how attentive he is for her needs, she complains and becomes overbearing and inconsiderate.
Okay. Ladies, anyone else? Why would a lady bombard a man as soon as he hit the door?
I wanted to comment on the fact that it's really important. I think Brother Rod was saying you got to make sure you're getting with a person who really cares about you, who really values you, who really loves you and understands you, because you've got to have that as a foundation. Most women don't know how to take care of men. They've never seen it done. They half of them don't even like men. They're if they're married, they really married a provider, not a man they love. So
Hmm.
they're thinking their feelings, and there should be a balance. I'm not saying the woman shouldn't think about her feelings, but always, I tell young women, I have a lot of young women that are my clients that are trying to learn how to be married and have a relationship and not mess it up. But I'm like, remember, you didn't want to pay your bills. You were sick of it. Remember how you hated that? You didn't like the drive. You didn't like all of the what do you call that, culture in the business and everything. That man said, okay, I hate it too, but I love you. So you do less because I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to do what you really want to do, and I'll go do it for the both of us. So he's coming home he always came home stressed out and sick of work, just like how you did. But now he can't stop because he has to take care of him and you. And if they have kids, and I'm like, do you love him? That's what I start asking these women. And they're like, I'm trying to. There's a lot of women that have been married for a while and say, I'm trying to. So the man has to be there, do all the things, whether the woman really loves him or not, because he signed up to do that. So a lot of women don't know how, and some women don't even have the desire. You already gave them what they wanted, which is to know they're provided for. So now it's Susie Pie said, now it's like, okay, now it's back on me now. I want more. It's like you're there for them. And
Mm.
to see the signs is hard to see. It's easy for you brothers to see, but I know the way good men are wired that want to be married, they just keep doing more, which is dangerous because number one, the most dangerous place I've seen, well, it wasn't that recent, but they said one of the most dangerous places to be for crime to happen is in your car. So if that's the only place that men have peace and something happens to them right outside of their home, that's horrible.
Mm. Anybody else? Dope female trainer.
I would say he was like that all the time. I would say that she tried to change him from she saw the signs before they got married. And she tried to change him by giving him what she thought was number one A1 Angus with, and she felt like, well, he may do this now, but when we get married, this is already happening. So she tried to change him. So because he did not change, he stayed true to who he was. She argues and she complains, she biggers because he was never responsible from the beginning.
Mm.
Because
So,
he's already who he is. You know the cat that you with. You know that like men may discover it later on, but most women, they are fully engaged on who the person that they're with. They already know. And it's true to what she said, Paris. It's true. Either you learn how to do it, you've been taught, you've seen it, or you learned it through life experiences. Somebody taught you, you've seen it, or you learned it, right? That nigga ain't changed since you met him. But what he was doing was he was buying you Fendi, Gucci, and Prada, and it was cool while it was cool. And then when he doubled down and he was like, oh, snap, he really got issues. No, you always knew he had issues. Like, he didn't change. Men are creatures of habit. Women are way smarter, more conniving, more sensible, and smarter than we are. It's proven. So when women's like, oh, I didn't know he was like that. Yes, the fuck you did. You turned a blind eye to it. because you was getting what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But he been crying for help. Like,
Mm-hmm.
men cry for help.
Yeah.
And grown men be like, look, I need my dick sucked when I come home. And you be like, okay, babe, I'm going to get to that in a second. Like, oh, all right.
That's that hawk tour.
Then the car don't be in the driveway. The car be in the bar.
She knew from the
Of course she
beginning.
knew. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all, because y'all talking about those type of women. I'm about accountability. If you feel like you want to sit in the car, that is solely your problem. And I'm gonna allow you the time to sit in the car, jerk off, finish up your phone calls, handle your business, scroll through IG, do whatever it is that you need to do. Until you come into the house and we have a discussion about what your needs are and all of this about how, oh, it's her. No, we are both adults. And you guys have heard me say this: marriage and relationships is for adults. So you have to communicate. All of this yada yada yada, she should have known, he should have known. Yes. So off of that basis, now that we're married, be an adult. You want to sit in the car, you can sit in the car. Now don't sit in there for a whole hour, knowing that the kids got school in the morning, we got stuff that we have to talk about. Like, don't do that. But take your time, come inside, and let your partner know that, hey, I had a rough day. Because knowing me, I'm a slick go ahead and send the kids. Not even slick. I'm gonna let the kids go ahead and greet you. Kids are like dogs. They're like always happy, daddy. So I want you to have that. If I'm not feeling it, go, daddy's home. Go ahead, like whatever it is. So I just feel like there's also the positive sides to it as well that we need to focus on, and accountability. That it's not always about he's gonna come into hell. If you're coming into hell, I feel like, Rod, you should say, hey, wait a second now. I've had a rough day. I don't appreciate this. This is what I need. And then if she doesn't, then if he's sitting in the car after he's had the discussion, then hey, yeah, he can sit in the car and be upset, and do all we need to do. Go ahead.
But Sophie, you just said, you listen to the first thing you said. I'm gonna do it on the slick. I'm not slick. I'm gonna send the kids outside because I know that Negro been in the car way too long that I like. Hey, y'all.
No, I'm not sending the kids outside
here.
When he comes into the house. I do want to give him joy. And I'm not going to let anybody, not any single one of you, put me into the box that the reason why a man is sitting outside is because of me.
We're not going to put you in a box.
But could it possibly?
I'm just saying, if the shoe fits, I'm just saying.
But could it possibly?
Let me finish. I will land my plane. It's 11:30. I will land my plane. I am saying I feel like marriage is for adults. And I feel like it's for the adult, whoever, whether it's the woman or the man who was sitting outside, whatever their reasons are, it is your responsibility to tell the other party when you come in how you are feeling. And I would imagine that it's that other person who's on the receiving end to say what they need. If something happens after that, then it's up to that. I am going to, and let me be clear, because I know how days are. I may send the kids to go and greet their father because that's always going to be a happy, jovial, happy da-da-da-da-da. I'm just saying my positive reinforcements that I am doing. So I just don't want to get it twisted that I'm trying to like slick, and I please give me grace as I'm trying to find my words. And it's okay. You can do all that, So
no, I'm just trying.
It's okay. I'm just saying that. I just want to make sure that it's clear that I'm not on the, oh, it's her, she's not providing. I'm just saying that there are some people who try, and there's also some accountability for men who just don't know how, who hasn't seen, who also don't know what to do because you took on more maybe than you can handle.
Sherrod and then Estevan. Sherrod and S.
I absolutely agree. But there's absolutely no ownership in what you just said. Nobody's putting you in a box, but could it just very well be it's because of you while my ass is in the car? That's just letting me know, like, I need to calm myself down. I need to bring my nerves to an at ease point where I can come and talk to you because maybe you're the aggressor, man or woman, it doesn't matter. But if a man is sitting in a car, you can't just say, If he says I'm sitting in the car most times because my wife is a certain way when I go home, and then he's like, that's on him. That ain't on me. But he's telling you like, you know why I sit in the car as much as I do.
We're talking about a couple different things here. You know, I can take it. If you gave me your last name and you put children in my womb and they carry your last name and you put us in a house and you gave me a nice car and all those things, absolutely.
But that don't negate me from sitting in the fucking car.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong
at all.
You are saying something's
because
wrong.
You have those things.
You are saying something is wrong with sitting in the car. I am separating myself and saying, I am saying there is nothing wrong with you, baby.
So you're cool with him sitting in the car?
I'm cool. I want you to sit in the car.
Okay.
I want you to wrap up your phone calls. Because when I come inside, I'm still going to give you your 20 minutes. But I don't want to have to be seeing this finger. Oh, I'm on a phone call.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So I want you to wrap it up.
So you want him to wrap it up because you want his attention when he's there. You want him present.
Straight home and not going to the gym or going to the bar. I'd rather you be in my driveway than be in hers.
So that's why I said earlier, I know how my home dynamics is. That's why I sit in the car to do those things. Yes. So because when I come in the house, I'm going to be omnipresent.
Boom.
I'm going to be there. That's what I'm saying. But there are times that may have happened early in the day when he said, you know what? I don't know if I can go in the house right now because I don't know how to handle this shit.
Yeah.
Because it never got resolved. So that's a us problem.
And I know this.
Not just a you, but that's a us
We know this.
My bad. I want S to respond. Go ahead, S.
So I was, you know, and like I said, so we not pointing at you. We hear you.
No, not at all.
But
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But it's like, you know, you've heard those questions. Can a man really tell his woman what's going on in his world? Because once he starts to express what's going on in his world, then when he come home, he shouldn't really need to sit in the car. If he's told her what's going on in his world, hey, this is the stress I'm dealing with. This is what I'm going on. So when I get home, I need a little bit of peace before we dive into the dynamics of the house. The house has to be taken care of 100%. But I just got home. Let me exhale. But if I've told you what's going on in my world and what I deal with on a daily, and when I get home, the first thing I need to do is sit in the car for 20, 30 minutes, then that tells me that the home she's not listening. She's just concerned about what she has going on in her life. She's been sitting in the house, pacing, smoking Newports, waiting for your ass to get home.
Damn. Shit. Not Newports.
Okay, based off of
hey, listen, I'm just messing around. I only mess with girls that smoke cigarettes.
Black and Miles, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, Black and Miles, you know what I mean? She can't wait. She can't wait for you to get to that door. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you walk in the door, it's this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. So now that I'm here, like I said, we've heard those situations where can a man, you know, divulge everything that's going on in his life outside of the home? Hey, baby, this is what's happening at work. This is what I'm going through. Man, they stressing me out with this, that, and the third. And then when I come home, I'm being stressed out with some other shit that is really minute. It's really not that big.
So, Sophie, before you respond, because I got everyone jump in, Parrish, you know, Shaq, Susie. So this is a situation. What I'm hearing from the group is, and specifically from you, Sophie, is, you know, he may be going through something, but that's not necessarily your fault, or your concern. Like, don't blame me. You going through whatever you going through, handle it, deal with it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you're going through something, you need to tell me that you're going through something.
Oh,
I'm not a woman that needs to know all the details about the business and all of that, because you're a businessman. You're working all of your business interactions. If a contract didn't get signed, I'm not even going to be able to understand all of that. I just know that you're handling it. I need to know that it was challenging. It didn't work. It stressed you out. Somebody screwed you over. Just tell me the high level parts of it throughout the day, so I can already know what I'm coming. It's communication. So I cannot if you're communicating through the day, I'm already going to know that before you come home, you're heading to the gym because you had a stressful day. I'm already going to know that you do skip the gym and you're probably in the car. If I choose to look out the window, I'm probably going to see you bopping the music because I know my man.
So I
The
got a
other
question.
women, Black and Miles and stuff like that and all that chicken neck stuff, I don't know her. Even in a bad marriage, I wasn't her. So I can't relate. So
you don't know any
Bobblehead.
you don't know any female like that?
I do. I have heard of them. I have,
But you
but
don't know,
I am not
you don't
one.
know nobody like that.
I did not say that. And I keep repeating myself. I did not. I know of them, but I am not one of them. So I cannot relate to them. I don't know what it feels like to come in and just attack somebody because I wouldn't want that. That wasn't me. Somebody else can respond on that. That wasn't me. I know of them. And I'm the friend that you're calling and saying, girl, we're upset. And I'm saying, well, do you think about maybe trying this? Try maybe saying that that's just me. So somebody else can have it, but it's just not me.
I got a question for the whole group. What about when the man feels like he can't come home to her because she's not his piece? And you know what? Let me be specific. Let me come to Shaq. Shaq, have you ever heard of a situation? And unmute for me. Have you ever heard of a situation where a man feels like, you know what? I can't talk to her. She's not my piece. When I try to tell her, hey, you're nagging me about minuscule things and it stresses me out. She says, you're lazy and you're a complainer. Like we can never get on the same page. Have you heard that? Because some men would love to say, hey, baby, today work was crazy. Hey, you know what? This morning we had a misunderstanding and you kind of got on my last nerve, or you hurt my feelings because you don't never understand what I'm talking about. Like a man would love to say that, but there are some women he can't say that to. So what do you say to the woman that says, I ain't got to be his piece because he need to get that from Jesus, not me? Like, what do you say to that kind of person when the man might be trying to cry out?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, if I knew who he was and I was connected to him, he wouldn't have to say nothing because I would know I'm wrong. And I would correct the situation. I would be accountable for myself. Say, you know what? Let me go up to his job and let me just show him that I'm I apologize for my behavior. But for those women who choose to not take accountability for their actions and to see where he's trying to be vulnerable, I think that's a high level of low self-esteem for me. Because it's a selfish behavior and it's a selfish act to not consider your mate who's trying to consider you or trying to be open with you to say, I don't want to speak to anybody else. I want to speak to you. But because you're so selfish and because you think of no one but yourself, then I have to reach outside the household and speak to somebody. However you feel and whatever you think is, there was a decision that you made because you're thinking of yourself and only yourself. And I'm just trying to be. I would love for you to be my piece, but again, it was his choice as well because he knew who she was before he met her.
Now,
Before they got
Shaq,
married.
I was on a podcast last night and they were talking about how do you know that person's the one in marriage and all of that, and what do you and a lot of the answers, mine included, was choose wisely, get to know them, pray about it. Well, sometimes you already married.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you in there. You didn't make the decision. You didn't jumped in it. Bam it. You married, and now you're like, yo, this person don't really care about what I'm going through.
Absolutely.
All right, now I'm opening this back up to the crowd. I was on a show 2 years ago. Parrish, you probably remember some of these podcasters. I'm not gonna say their names because they still friends of mine. But it was a classic show where one of the ladies said, "You ain't gotta be his piece. He need to find peace before he meets you. I'm not responsible for his peace. I'm not responsible for his joy. I'm not responsible. He's a grown man." And these ladies, one in particular, was going off, and I got into a verbal back and forth with her because I'm like, then why are you with that man? If you can't be his piece, why the hell are you with him? You are saying, I don't even want to try to be his piece. And she's like, he need to get peace from somewhere else. Of course, we know you need God in your life. Of course, we know, no woman and no man can make you happy. Happiness is a self-fulfilling construct. Of course, we know that you have to have purpose in life. We know all that. But I'm asking, if you're in a relationship and the man is like, something between us isn't right, and I think it's something that you can help. And she's like, no, it's your problem. How does a man get through to someone like that when they already locked in and she ain't trying to take no responsibility? Like, no, it's on you, bro. You need to fix yourself. But he's telling her it's something wrong with us, and I have an issue with something you do.
Well, what I would hope that the person would look at is a relationship. You know, of course, I believe in the threefold cord, the spiritual connection you have together, you know, that you both respect, that, you know, keeps the boundaries of your relationship, but it's really two people. You can't do anything with this part of the relationship. You can't fix that person. You can't make them do anything. But this part of the relationship you can. So, which is yourself. And so what I always do when I'm helping a man in that situation, if I'm working with them professionally, is first get them to understand that even if you can't move on because you need peace and understanding and the person won't cooperate with you, you got to get that peace in yourself first. Because when you get that peace, then you can think straight and you can hear clearly. I brought it up before, but it's at the foundation of most situations. And I'm not talking about ghetto, you know, lazy, slothful people. I'm talking about people like your caliber that find themselves already in relationships with people as they start realizing, wait a minute, this is who I married. This is who I didn't get a chance to see them in the season of their life. They really don't give a F. They don't have any compassion for me right now, no empathy. And it's like cold. So when I get men that see that situation, we already know they chose, you know, someone that they shouldn't have and all of that, but they're there already right now.
Right.
You have to operate with, first of all, loving yourself, because that person is showing you that they only have a certain level for you of love for you, or there may not have even really been a big, strong basis of love. Because now the things you got to get into, this intuitive stuff and being patient and all that stuff, that comes from loving somebody. If you don't really love that person, that's why that person says, no, yes, get your own peace. No, I'm not doing that, because they're getting the love. And the love is what's the friendship, the caring about. When a woman can be heartless like that, that means there is, and I'm not vilifying women. I'm saying when a woman treats a man that way and it's on a consistent basis, she's showing you how she feels about you. Just like if it was a man doing it.
Yeah. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
All right. So let's address something Sophie brought up. Okay. She just wants the man to be present. You have the wife that says, hey, handle whatever business you got to handle. Take your minutes, take your hour, whatever you got to do it. But when you come in here, I need you right here with us.
Well, I wanted
You
to
know?
say, I heard what Sophie said, and I understand what she's saying, the frustration of reading somebody's mind, but or them not speaking up and being an adult, a mature communicator. But the one thing that those brothers said that is true, and I know it's true, and we might not like it, but it's true. That is not how men are built and made or conditioned, or, you know, through social conditioning. If we want them to be that way, we have to condition them. And the best way to make them feel conditioned is to be intuitive, not reading their mind. Not that you said those words, but the feminine energy, the nurturing part of it comes with intuition. Like when a kid is coughing and you might think they just cough, but you're like, no, that cough sounded different. And I can tell by the way they've been moving today, they don't feel good. I've seen moms, they can tell if a kid's constipated or not. They just sense it. But with their man, they're like, man, he better speak up. I do not have time. I don't have patience for him. I don't know what he's going, but he's been acting like this. So it's a conditioning for the woman to learn the same intuitive care you give your children. And it's not like you're raising a big child or anything. It's mother energy that heals the planet. We're built with that. So I feel that when men say that's not how we're not made to be vulnerable and say, hey, babe, as soon as I finish washing the dishes, can I confide in you about something? They're not going to do that. You know, they're looking for us to pull them out with our feminine energy to create a space where they feel safe to talk to us about it. And, you know, well, anyway, that's it.
And I'm the voice for the woman that does understand. I was trying to express myself and saying that I'm not her. There are women that do understand that a man is sitting in the car because he's had trials and tribulations that he does not know how to express himself. I was trying to explain that, you know, whenever he's ready or whenever we can make that connection and these type of things, it's like the long game. It's not going to happen in a 6 months relationship. It's the long game on learning. You know, people don't have challenges at work or don't start a new business every single year. So it's just learning as these situations come, knowing your person. And what I was talking about being a mature adult is giving people grace. I think that's something that's kind of lost gets lost.
I agree.
Allowing your person to have grace. You may have consecutively come home and on 20%. A lot of you, I mean, we're all professionals. There's something called quarter end or mid end, you know, year end or
fiscal year.
Yeah, fiscal year. Those are like crunch times, like my person of interest. Every day there's something that they have to deal with. And when you say that type of thing, or if I know it's quarter end or it's the end of the month, I already know, no questions asked. I should be already preparing to make sure that I have meals. I'm going to take on more of the load, but I do in I can't think of the word, but the word means like when it's not so heavy, I would like for you to take up some slack because, you know, like in the beginning of the month, it's easy, you know? So I'd like to be more present, like, hey babe, you know what? I can go take the soccer kids to the soccer game because, you know, towards the end of the month, and you don't even have to really say it. And it is that motherly. And I know maybe in the comments and be like, oh my gosh, you don't want to be a man's mom, but it is, we are taking him away from his mother in the same way that he's taking us away from our fathers, the person that's going to give you that agape love, who's going to be like, I know Parrish, I know Susie, you know, I get her. You're bringing in a person that you may have known, 6 months, 8 years, when you're 40 or you're 30. So it does take time. So give someone grace to get to know you, and you don't have to always be so harsh. And when someone checks you, take a step back and see where some of that may be true in what they're saying. You may nag when I come home. You know, I do know, you know, I may not want to see the kids right away because even though you're sending the kids to me, they're asking for Roblox. You know, they're asking, how come you didn't come to my game? So I may have to switch that, you know, or just let you just come in and sit in the garage.
Yeah. Okay. We are at the halfway point, a little bit over the halfway point. So does anyone have anything else to say about why men sit in the car before they go inside? If not, we're going to shift gears
What's
to
the
the next
verdict,
topic.
though? Why do they sit in the car? I think it's because
it's a number of reasons. It's just not one reason. We expounded on some of them earlier, but again, I think it's the level of communication. It goes back to communicating with your spouse communicating with you. There may be some unreadiness with work or some other things that they have to take care of.
Business.
That has nothing to do with the house at all. It's just some of the things that they just got to square away before they go home and to get in. And last but not least, sometimes you just need a fucking break.
Stress. I need a minute.
So it's not always bad. So it's not always.
No. It is not always bad.
Okay.
That is just one.
And it's not always
just one part, just one cog in the wheel. Now, what we said was based on the picture we saw, we automatically assumed and didn't give him any grace. We don't know if it's that or not, but based on that picture, most men, and I'm speaking, I'm generalizing now. Most men have been in that situation for one of those three reasons or another.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they've either been stressed out at work and they're just trying to take a breather. They're trying to finish up some phone calls, some last minute things, or it may just be that they don't want to be home. Like for whatever reason that may be, like they don't want to be home, but they gotta go because they ain't got no choice and they ain't got no other place else to stay. So they go home. You know?
So my takeaway is not to be so naive to that. You should come and talk to me, even though I'm setting up a platform for it to be, you know, positive. Just know that there could be some things that he just is not ready to, and he could be pissed the F off at you, or doesn't want to take on the responsibilities
It doesn't necessarily have to be that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be you. But I will tell you this, back to your point though. Being intuitive is very important from a male perspective and a female perspective. And if you know your spouse, and you know and a lot of times women pour into their children more than they pour into their spouse. And when a spouse tells you that, like, hey,
Wow.
I know what it feels like to be poured into because mama poured into me.
Wow.
Or daddy took care of me because I'm daddy's little girl. And then a grown man gonna tell you, like, I'm not your daddy. I'm not your father. I'm gonna pour into you, but
Hold on.
it's gonna come at a certain gauge.
Hold on. You know, I got a whole product line called Daddy Dave's Luscious Lip Care. So,
I would like
so
to.
I'm gonna tell you like Snoop Dogg said in one of his songs. He said, "I'm not your father, but I'm your mother effing daddy." Now, just hear that for a second. Just hear that for a second. There's a woman. I'm not your mother, but I'm your MFN mommy. Now, hear me. There's a little boy in every man that needs to be mothered and nurtured and spoken to. This woman came on my show and did that when I was under attack. He spoke to the king in me, and everybody was like, look at how his face lit up, and he must like her. And I'm like, y'all don't get it. That woman spoke to the king in me when I was in a down point, and she encouraged me when I was under attack. And it wasn't a sexual thing. It was just a motherly thing. And I saw that and said, I love that. She gets a part of what men need. And likewise, there's a little girl in every woman that needs a man to father her, to protect her, to be a daddy in a way. Okay. Now, if y'all into the kinky thing and y'all do that in the bedroom, hey, I don't have no problem with it. But don't forget that that's real.
But Dave, if I could,
that's real.
It gets tiresome though. It gets tiresome for a man to keep doing that to a woman, expecting change, and change doesn't come, and vice versa. Like she picked you up intuitively because she knew that's what you needed at that moment.
Yeah.
If she always got to pick you up, that shit gets tiresome.
Well, then it's more than I'm giving you the mama that you need in the moment. Now it's I'm really your mom. Like you can't get your ass up and go to work without me. Yeah.
But it's a fine line now. It's a fine line.
But the way that for sure, Rod, I know this. You know when you're speaking to the child in the person that needs to feel like I am loved and protected versus you are in a what do you call enabling an adult to not take advantage of their own accountability.
Speak to it.
I know that the in that moment feeling more than the mother energy isn't just about talking to the inner child. It's about if mothers are only valuable and necessary if they have kids. Like, what about when your kids grow up? What about the women who don't even have kids? I'm talking about mother energy. Even if you have kids at birth, mother energy cares about the well-being of, if we're talking about the man, cares about the well-being of the man, even if it doesn't benefit her. That's the mother energy. The mother isn't thinking, well, I've been here all day. He needs to get in here. He's been out there for 30 minutes. She's thinking, wait a minute. If he's been out there for 30 minutes, that's usually when he tells me he doesn't want to come in the house yelling. He doesn't want to bring the work to the house or whatever. Let me, if I'm doing my job, he's doing his job. Bills are getting paid. He's handling shit and I don't have to worry about it. If I'm doing my job, I shouldn't feel like it's so chaotic. And if I'm in my mother energy, the mother energy has the wisdom, knows how to discipline. She knows how to do all of that. She is the master. She is Mother Earth. She's all of that. So if you're out of order so much so you got to pull him out of his peace into your chaos or out of his chaos into more chaos, you're not doing your job as a woman, not as a wife, but as a woman.
But where does that mother energy come from, Paris?
The mother energy, if you don't have it, or you have an unhealthy representation of it, and you don't have a healthy pattern of it, it comes from you wanting, again, that's the thing for the men and the women to understand. A woman naturally loves her children. So if she hasn't seen it, she's struggling to figure it out. She's struggling to figure it out. If she doesn't have the proper love for you, she's only going to do it to the point where I didn't sign up for
that. She's capable.
Every time a woman
says, it ain't in her.
Anytime a woman says, I didn't come here to do all this nurturing for a grown ass man, he needs to get his shit together.
Come on.
That is her saying, let me translate. I don't have mother energy like that. I don't know what to do. Fix yourself. So just know that. So the brothers that leave feeling like now she's telling the family I'm weak and I'm not man enough. No, you can't control what her family thinks. Don't you take that on. That was her, just like a man saying, you're a gold digger. How come you always in my pocket? He can't make that much money, maybe. You're not a bad woman because you asked him to fix the refrigerator or whatever. It's that woman, since she doesn't have the ability, she's got to attack you. That comes with it.
So Sharad, to answer your question, if I may, and others can jump in, Sharad, how do we learn how to be a real man? We have to be around men.
Well, it goes back. It goes back to the three things I said earlier. You've learned by seeing it being done. And
Yes.
You've been taught that, or you learn it through life experiences. That's nothing to do with age. Time has taught you how to deal with certain circumstances,
wisdom,
situations, and wisdom is not attached to age. It is attached to experiences. So a woman doesn't know how to be. A woman intuitively knows how to be a mother. It is something that is sent from beyond. A father learns how to be a father. If he's seen it done, he's been taught, or life experiences has taught him how to be a father. He's not like a mother. A mother intuitively knows.
And being a mother is different than being a wife, and being a wife is different than being a girlfriend.
Absolutely.
Right? You know, and look, being a girlfriend is different than being a true friend, like just a friend.
Absolutely.
Like take the sex and the romance out of it. Like my friend. And some people have not yet learned how to be friends with the opposite sex, like real friends. Some people have never learned how to be in a relationship, like just even boyfriend and girlfriend. And some people have never learned how to be husband and wife. I want to say this to everyone watching. For the people that may say, I don't want to be his piece and he need to fix himself. And like you said, Parrish, I ain't taking care of no grown ass man. I'm not going to raise no man. I've heard it all. I would say this. That may not be the person for you, because if they do have that little boy in them, or they're still learning, or they're not quite where they are, or that woman, she has that little girl in her, she's not quite, then maybe that person ain't either right for you right now, or you person are going to have to sacrifice more to help teach them and get them around some mentors. And then the person that's lacking, they're gonna have to be willing to be taught. What came out last night was a teachable spirit. A teachable spirit. From a man and a woman. Both people have to have a teachable spirit.
I think everything is a learned behavior. You know, be honest with you. Like Rod spoke on it, saying it intuitively that women have that. But if you grown up in an environment where you haven't been taught how to be a mother, you haven't taught how to be how to cater to your man, where you're in a situation where they don't know how to cook and be a woman at home and handle those responsibilities. So you got some women that just know how to make reservations, and that's all. And because of money, they can order food out because of the luxury. But if the money's not there for them to have those things, then us having a meal at the house with her cooking around, you know, and we got the kids around the table, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, unless we go to McDonald's. And I'm not saying none of you women are those.
Right.
So please don't think I'm pointing out, because I've heard some of you women talk, and I don't think any of you women are those people. And not all men are bad fathers. Not all women are bad mothers. But I think it's a learned behavior. If you've seen your mother act in a certain way, this is how you're gonna act. Give you a great, let me land my plane. Let me give you a great example. So my grandmother, and I never understood why my grandmother and my grandfather weren't together. I learned later on why they weren't together, but growing up, I didn't understand. She lived in Oakland, he lived in Louisiana. When we would go back to Louisiana, he stayed right down the street from my auntie. So we would go to my auntie's house, and my grandfather walked down the street, which was probably like about 6 houses. And when he walked into the house, my grandmother waited on this man hand and foot. And I'm noticing this. We got shrimp on the table. She'd bring him a big old pan of shrimp, and he sit down. She go get him his iced tea, and he's sitting there eating. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, they act as if there are a couple, but I'm young at this time. I'm calling it, let's say 6, 7, 8 years old, but I can recognize what's going on, and I'm like, and but that's just how she was raised to be as a woman. It wasn't no, okay, we not together. He come home, he come over here to see his grandkids, and you go get your own plate, or one of my aunts go get his plates. No, that was who she was. So now that's why I say it's a learned behavior. So my mom was that way with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying my mom and my dad, they broke apart and they came back together. And my mom was that same way with my dad. So I believe it's a learned behavior. The first teacher that a young girl has to be a woman is her mother. If her mother is bitter, if her mother is got some other bullshit going on around her, then that little girl is going to emulate that type of behavior. If that woman is loving, caring, and supportive and nurturing, that little girl is gonna emulate just that. The same thing with the father and his son. Our first love as a man is my mama.
Absolutely.
That's the first woman I fell in love with.
Absolutely.
So that's the woman I'm looking. Go ahead, Mom.
Go ahead. That's a good point, and all of that is true. But there's also the factor that there's reward for certain behaviors. They may be poor behaviors, but
Mm-hmm.
there are rewards for certain behaviors. Like this new generation, these men are not, they're being rewarded for being bums. So it's like if they're not being appreciated for their hard work or being able to fix a tire or, things like that, but they're being rewarded for having good
How?
sex or dressing a certain way, then
Okay.
they get these type of women, or there's certain type of women that are being rewarded only for their looks, only
Okay.
for what they can provide by showing up on a man's arm, instead of being able to be the woman to cook and to be nurturing and all of those things. They start leaning more towards that, even if their mother or their grandparents were actually good women or their fathers were good men. They're being
Mm-hmm.
rewarded for poor behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But also too, as what you were talking about, those are gender roles, right? And I think in today's society, gender roles get skewed a little, or clouded, or blurred a
100%.
little bit, because
100%.
we are
100%.
expecting women to be like our mothers, right, or be like our grandparents, or be like
Mm-hmm.
they were, and everything. So you have to. Once again, it goes back down to communication, right? If you want those things, you have to establish those things early and often in the beginning. You can't
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden want your woman to act a certain way when she wasn't doing that in the beginning. Once again, you're
Mm-hmm.
not evenly yoked. So find a person that you're evenly yoked with to get those things. If you want those gender roles, then find that woman or find that man. They can provide it. Now they can be taught, but like Dave said, they have to have a teachable spirit. Because if I can't teach you anything, and everything I teach you, I know is to be right, and the only thing you do is refute it, but you don't give me any substance of why you're refuting it, I have a tendency to push you away. Like if I'm telling you, like, hey, let's do these things, and these are the things I like, I will help you do them. I will show you how to do them, because these are the things I like. What do you like? Well, I don't really know. I didn't grow up like that. Cool, no problem. This is how I grew up. And some women be
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I don't know what I like. Well, you can't just be piggybacking on all on the shit I like. You got to have something on your own, because then you become sheep, and that's how women get pimped and men get pimped, because men get pimped just like women.
Oh, indeed.
Okay. Hey, I see the comments. We got about 30 minutes left in this episode, you guys. We can change topics or we could stay here. But before we change, I will say this. I think it's important that we've talked about why some men sit outside, and it's stress, it's decompress, it's handling business, it's changing clothes or changing mindsets and putting on the mindset of being a husband or a father. And sometimes it's maybe it is chaos and calamity at home. But something that we're talking about now is if the calamity may come from our female partner, how can we get them to see things a little differently? And I think it just comes from having examples. Like you said, as everybody ain't raised the same. So if you get a woman that's not necessarily raised traditionally, or a woman that's not raised to say I'm sorry, or that's not raised to say, hey, you know what, maybe it is something that I could do differently or do better. If she's not raised like that, then how do you get her to see that? And I'll say,
Who
Parish, and
who
to
raised
others,
you?
yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult to get a man to change when you're a grown up. It's difficult. But I think in every relationship we should be open to talking to people and really speaking our partner's love language. If their love language is,
That's your core.
hey, I need a minute. If their love language is, hey, I need a minute before I start to clean, then you may need to give them a minute. If their love language is, hey, I can't even think when there's chaos in the house, meaning like the house is dirty and it's just clutter, then that means as a husband, if you're not the cleaning type, you may need to hire a cleaning lady. You may need to do something to take peace off of, like take stress off of her, so that when you want to come in and have a wife that's happy and ain't stressed and can give you peace, you've kind of created an environment where she could already be at peace before you walk in, and she doesn't have to try to find her peace in some way or another. I will say that when you're already locked in with someone, both people have to be willing to change in order for things to change. Otherwise, they're going to keep being themselves. And excuse will be, I've always been myself. I've been this way for 50 years of my whole life. I was this way before I ever married you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Can I hop in just for a moment?
yes, go ahead.
Um, there are some men who are so manly that they just do not want to feel or be shown as being a weak individual. So if they have stress at the job, they never want their woman to see them in a state of weakness. They just don't want that to happen. So they prefer to cry in the car. Whatever it is, they prefer to do that in the car rather than allowing their woman to see them in a state of
Vulnerability.
uncertainty or a state of not being the hero figure for her, because he wants to always present to her that I got this, I'm holding it down. So in order for him not to show that sign of weakness, because he's been raised in an environment where men don't cry.
Yeah.
But she may not even have given him that idea that he can't be vulnerable around her, but that was the way he was raised. So in order for him to gain himself or to get himself together, he chooses to hold that part of himself from her. And that becomes an issue where
Mm.
he becomes even more stressed because he can't speak to her, but she never knew that he couldn't speak to her because she didn't know that it was that big of an issue.
And Shaq, you brought this up earlier. You just reminded me because I forgot. I wanted to make this point. Okay, this is dangerous for a man. If a man feels like, let me add S back to the stage. Okay, S, we got you back on, man. You in the background. All right. If a man feels that he can't talk to his wife, right, because of whatever, maybe she's not open, maybe the kids, it's just chaos. Maybe she's like, you need to handle that before you come here because I ain't worried about all that. Whatever the case is, he can't talk to her. The danger is if he starts to talk to
With
female
somebody.
friends outside of the marriage. That is dangerous because let me tell you something. Number one, the devil will bring every understanding stripper, bartender, post office person, hairdresser, you know what I'm saying? A friend at church. Everybody that might have access to you is all going to be like, "Oh my God, Dave, you don't seem happy," and you're gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good." So that's dangerous for a man to have female friends that he opens up to in the event he can't open up to his wife, because what will happen is temptation will come. The enemy will try to create a wedge. And then when he does feel bad and he is having a bad day and he does want to sit in his car and breathe, you know what I'm saying? He might think about, well, you know what? Let me call up the bartender, the stripper. Let me call up the person from work. She don't have to be a stripper. It could be and then he looking like this in the car.
Yeah.
Now he looking like that because
So
you know. So I just wanted to caution the men on here and the men that watch the show and that's on YouTube, I want to caution everybody, like, be very careful having female friends because you got to be careful because it's got to be boundaries when you have female friends, because you might have been able to be female friends when you weren't married. And because I'm speaking to my crowd that's about to get married, when you get married, it's like, yo, I talked to a female friend today, and she was like, the friendship is a little different, and I said, yeah, and she's like, man, I understand that, and it should be because you're getting married.
That's
right,
the point.
right, yeah, and you're not single Dave from 15 years ago, so therefore
I don't know about that. Well, the topics may change, but the friendship, if it's a true friendship, why does it change?
Because the priorities are
It's
different.
supposed to change. It's a respect thing, yes.
Just like your responsibility.
Segue. I feel a segue coming. Go ahead.
No.
Let him cook. Esty, go. Let him cook.
If it's really a friendship, if we really friends, if that's really my sister, what changed?
She should change.
No. Some friends you do have like that.
Absolutely.
That never change. But there are some friends that you have that and I know that the only thing you gotta say is, and they're gonna fall all the way down into you.
Well, those ain't the friends we talking about.
No, those are the friends you don't talk to anymore.
That you don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all messed me up. I lost like 4 guy friends because I asked him the question, are we friends? And I called Dave and I was like, these niggas was like, yes, I would hit it. And I was like, what?
But that's the real thought. Like women be like, okay, why my man tripping? He don't. Okay, I'll tell you what. Call that dude and be like, look, me and my boyfriend, we tripping. I'm frustrated. I need you as a friend. I need you to give me the hammer tonight, and see what he says.
Hold on.
Man.
I'm in rock.
I don't know if you should do that.
And put some sauce on it.
By?
No, put some sauce on it. And Dave, I've always thought of you like this, but I just knew that we were friends, so I never.
Yeah.
But this man, he hurt me so bad. I just need my friend to come.
Hey, you're gonna hear the tire screeching as you're on phone.
But wait a minute. Here we go.
I've been looking for a long time. But fucking never crossed my mind. But tonight I see something in him.
If it's the other way around.
With you. See, you ain't me. Come on now.
The other way around.
Come on.
Yeah.
But my thing was this though. My thing is this though. If it's truly and to be honest with you, only men can really. We already know where we at. And we'll say it's truly a friendship. It's nothing there. We can't go take the piss. Women are in control of all of the giving of the punani.
They control the coochie gate.
We're not taking nothing.
It ain't a woman on this phone who don't got one guy on speed dial that she can call right now to go.
Hold on. Can I read something else from the book of Ursher? I want to read something from the book of Ursher.
Book of Ursher.
This is normally it's Sophie so astute in the book of Ursher, but tonight I did some research. I would like to read chapter and verse. This is from the book called "You Make Me Wanna." And this is verse. I know that verse. This is verse 1. He said, before anything began between us, you were like my best friend.
Yes.
The one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl were having problems.
Yes.
And then he said, that's right. He said, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Next verse.
You used to say it'll be okay. You used to say it'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But just little nice things I could do.
Yes.
And when I go home at night and lay my head down, all I think about is you. You make me want to be the one I'm with. Hey, start a new relationship. You're doing all that Usher shit. And that's the problem. We should not be the one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl was having problems. We don't need to be doing that. We don't need to be doing that.
So
I have a question for that. I agree with you on that, Dave, but that's not the friend that I'm talking about. The friend I'm talking about is just your friend. It shouldn't nothing change between them. If it's all been above board, she's been around your girl, y'all been hanging out, y'all been doing whatever. Y'all go out.
To make it real clear.
Wait. I'm just saying. Hold on, Dave. Before you cut me off, I know you. This is your show. This is Dave Life
It's
TV.
not that.
Goddamn it.
It's not
You
that.
understand me? No. I know. But I want you to say. I just want to say that if it's a genuine, because me, friendships are important. They're not something I just throw out as my friend.
I agree.
I don't do that. That's just my sister. I don't do that. So if that's my friend, then that is just it. That is just my friend. There is nothing sexually up. So, for instance, you might know the girl. She's from Chicago. I don't want to say her name,
I know
but you
what
see, tall chick.
Yeah, I know.
Remember her?
Mhm.
Like I've been associated with fucking her for years, and I'm like, it's not happened.
Right.
It
Hold
just
on,
not happened.
Hold on, S. But and this is super important for everyone watching.
You been what? You been what? S? You been
I'm
what?
associated like motherfucker. Like, hey, I heard you. No, that's not. That's my friend. That's that. No.
Now,
Hey, and then I had a girl I was messing with saying I was like, no, that's just my friend.
let me ask you
to
this.
the point where I had to stop messing with. She had to stop becoming my friend, and I felt bad about that because that's just my
Would the
friend.
average person say that the person that the woman you're talking about is attractive?
Very.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. All
No,
right.
wait. And
Of course.
she fits in.
Ugly, nobody don't give a fuck about ugly shit.
Exactly. That part right there, though. But
Nobody give a fuck about no ugly shit. Ain't nobody checking about ugly shit.
And she fits in my wheelhouse.
Now,
Of
here's
course she does. That's why she's your friend.
So you're a true friend.
Now, once again, and I said I've gone out with her as like, hey, I remember one time my ex was we had planned to go to a concert. The concert got moved to a different date. By the time the date came back around, next thing you know, my girl at the time had engagement that she had to be in on the East Coast. So I couldn't sell the tickets. I was like, well, shit. I told her, like, I'm telling my homegirl. She had no problem with it. People assumed that I was fucking with her. Now, she came. We out partying, we drinking, having a good time. She drove over to the house. She couldn't drive. I was like, you're not driving like that.
Look like we lost
her. Not only because I don't know the story, but I'm gonna finish it. So she couldn't drive like that. So what she said was, only thing, since we friends, is go ahead and take a shower, get naked, get in the bed. I'm gonna sleep on the couch. And when he slept on the couch later that night, she came out of the bedroom, butt ass naked. She's like, "You sure you don't want to get in the bed with me? I mean, I don't want to do nothing, but I'd be scared at night, So that's what happened. I mean, he's not here to tell the story, so I'm gonna fill this bitch in any way I want to fill it in. Okay. No, you gotta
I have a question for the men. I have a question for the men, real quick. You guys are talking about reaching out to other people, how that's a big mistake during your relationship. Like if the woman at home won't listen or you can't talk to her without it being an issue. So my question is, do men view leaving, because you guys act like leaving is not an option. Like you could always end things. Do you guys view that as a failure?
Well, it depends.
Is that
it depends.
Okay.
It depends. Because I mentioned earlier friendship. I mentioned boyfriend, girlfriend. I mentioned marriage. Those three boundaries and situations are very different for me. And if I'm married, although people can get a divorce, right? I believe that, you really shouldn't. I believe you're supposed to marry for life, right? And I can sleep well at night. And Sherrod, I've told you this. I can sleep well at night knowing that I did the best I could in my first marriage. That I didn't, there was no drinking, no physical abuse, no, none of that. And I didn't file. And at the very end, I was like, hey, come to LA, let's figure it out. She simply said no. And so therefore I sleep well at night because I feel like, I did the best I could. Having said all of that, Susie, some people don't believe in divorce or ending or breaking up. They believe you stick it out. Like maybe someone's grandmother and grandfather. I heard a story last night where a grandfather cheated on a grandmother with everybody down the block. 5 houses down, just took them all down. And then,
grandma,
and grandma was like, hey, you need to get your life together. And eventually he got his life together and they stayed together. Another story was he had a drinking and a gambling problem and money was never right. And she actually left And then he went and got his life together and came back. Now, this is back in the day when they didn't divorce. So I don't know how long time frame was, but grandpa went and fixed his life and they ended up staying together for years. Right.
Yeah, but grandma knew. She was just patient and tolerant. And plus,
that movie Soul Food.
Grandma couldn't vote. She ain't had no car. She ain't had no way of economic stability. That's why she stayed. That's why she stayed.
Exactly.
I'm tracking.
She didn't stay just because, like, oh, honey, baby, sweetie, I love you so much. And I know you didn't fuck all my sisters and my cousins across the street and everybody in the church. I'm not staying out of principle. I'm staying because I don't have another way.
Yeah,
you have those situations. Yes, you do.
But in today's microwave and fast food generation, people can't stay for 10 minutes. Their attention span is so short. And the first inkling of adversity, these young generations are just breaking up. And you know what I'm saying? Look, I was with you. We break up tomorrow. Now I'm smashing your best friend, and then we break up, and then you and the best friend are still cool again. That, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? So Susie, to answer your question, what was your question again? Because
is leaving considered? Do men view leaving a relationship as a failure?
It can be to some men. Leaving could be considered a failure, and to some men, no, it's not a failure. It's, I love myself enough to say this isn't it. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you're not married and you're having hell in your relationship, that might not be the relationship for you.
Right.
Like don't go and make it worse by getting married. Like
a marriage isn't going to correct that.
There you go.
No, it doesn't.
There you go. Marriage will not correct whatever problems you guys had prior. Now, marriage is, in my personal belief system, marriage is an agreement to marry their trauma and to be their helpmeet on both sides.
Oh.
For instance, David is not always on time. All right. Sometimes I'm on times. A lot of times I'm tardy. Right. Whoever I'm marrying,
90% of the time you're tardy. So.
Okay. I'm sorry. Something's wrong with my.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say that, but I
know. And S has a right.
Yeah, I don't care. I will.
S has a right because I was late to appointments and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, this dude used to stress me out behind these appointments. Goddamn.
S, but I love you though, S, and I'm always gonna be there, man.
Cook food. That's why you go to another barber. I'm just saying. Hey, I gotta hit you with a couple of goddamn.
When the guests get the host back, I feel you when they get you back, man. But no, so Susie, you marry a person's trauma and their problems. I said this in the show last night. If your wife has a phobia of spiders, your girlfriend, your fiance has a phobia of spiders. You don't help them by throwing them in a room of spiders and say, get over it. Figure it out.
You do. Absolutely.
Oh my God. Here you go, Sherrod.
Yes, absolutely you do. Throw her ass in there and I guarantee she'll be all right.
Well, or another option is you say, hey baby, I'm not gonna make you deal with a spider. We're gonna go and deal with this over here. But in the event we run across a spider, I have your hand. I'm with you. We can talk through it. We can figure it out. Like, in other words, you walk with them through their trauma. You don't just, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying you don't bully them and you don't excommunicate them, nor do you coddle them. You walk with them and take their trauma serious. And I think a lot of us, it's a balance. When we get in relationships, y'all, we don't be marrying people's trauma and problems. We be like, just give me the good stuff. Give me the good stuff.
That's the part I struggle with, because it's like, is tolerance viewed as love? And if so, like, at what point is self-love? What point does self-love come into play? Like, as a man, and maybe Parrish can speak on that as a woman, because I'm really like curious at what point in that relationship or marriage or whatever, because and so much in the Black community, it's like tolerance is viewed as love. How much can she put up with? How much can he put up with? That will view how much he loves me or she loves me. But then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why should I put up with all of this so much? And I have one life to live. Do I really love myself? Or am I supposed to love him more than I love myself? That's why I believe in walking away.
I do believe in walking away too when the situation deems it. But I do want to say this. Do you tolerate your kids or do you love your kids?
Both.
Fair. That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I'm
What I
glad
was
you said
what I
that.
was
I'm
trying
glad
to
you
get
said that
at
about your
is
kids.
what I was trying to get at is I'm sorry, Shirai. What I was trying to get at is we choose to love who we want, right? Like we can call it tolerating, or we can call it unconditional love. Now, I'm not talking about enabling a drug addict or enabling a gambling addict or enabling and staying with a spouse abuser. I'm not saying it's beyond reason, but I'm saying bearing with, being patient. Sometimes we tolerate what they go through because we're trying to love them through it if they're working on it. Sherrod, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Dave. Oh, well, go, Sherrod.
But this is the thing. I can understand what Susie Pie said when she said both, because you only, first of all, you have unconditional love for your child, and I think mothers have unconditional love because there's a bond there, right? There's a genetic bond there between a mother and a child. They have unconditional love, but that love gets stretched and it becomes intolerable at times. So a mother said, I love you, but I can't tolerate no more. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
A father said, I love you in spite of how you are, but I can't tolerate you doing what you're doing in my crib.
Yeah.
So therefore they kick them out. And usually that happens. You don't usually see 10-year-olds getting kicked out, but you damn sure see 18-year-olds getting kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
You damn sure see 16-year-olds getting kicked out. And if you're of a certain age, your tolerance becomes less patient. Like your tolerance for the bullshit when they were younger,
I agree with
they
that.
were being taught and groomed.
I agree
So
with
now
that.
that they're older, you can't have no 25-year-old in your house doing dumb shit.
Because you tolerate things they can't control, or you tolerate things they haven't learned yet because of their youth. But what you don't tolerate are clear boundaries, such as disrespect or violence or stealing. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom used to tell me, "You ain't hey, I ain't raised no thugs. I ain't raised no." You know, so we couldn't be doing that.
So
Guys,
how do you course? So how do you know how to course correct a child? How do you course correct an adult?
well, they have to
Beat their
want to.
ass.
Number one, they have to want to, right?
That's
She said leave. Yeah, you do. They have to want to though, Sherrod. They have whoever is an adult has to want to, make a change. And that goes for all of us. And somebody said this last night too. And guys, I'm saying this because we got literally 7 minutes and we got to be done because we keep it below 120 minutes now because of the AI. But I heard somebody say last night in the comments of this other show. Shout out to Dash and his show. Somebody said we need to stop making excuses for people. We have decisions to make, and we decide what we're going to do, and we even decide what's going to be drawn to us through our actions and our thoughts. So they were like, we need to take accountability. So ain't no mistakes, Sherrod, when I used to stay at the casino and lose money and be struggling, right, as a single man, and I was dating someone, and she was like, "Well, what happened?" Well, I almost had that 7-card bust, but then the 8th card happened.
Right? We used to talk about that.
Boy,
you think we did talk about it?
Right. So we've always had those nights, but she'd be like, "Well, David, you could have got up when you were winning, or even better yet, you didn't have to go. You make good penny, so why are you gonna risk it on the tables?" And I had to make the choice that I don't need to be at the table.
But then if somebody loves you, they tolerate that answer, like S and I have over the years, and we try as a friend.
Right.
As a friend, we try to get what you're trying to do is you're trying to get to the core of it, because as men we're fixers. That ain't just the women. We try to fix our friends.
Why do you feel the need to sit at the tables and risk, X amount of dollars?
Let's get to the core of it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Come on, pitcher.
Right.
Pitcher.
Monkey. Remember Monkey? Jeez. This looking monkey, man.
Boy, those were the days.
I don't know, man. I don't know how many times I was hoping for a pitcher card. Pitcher, monkey. At one point, they called me Oxman at one of these casinos because you was gonna have the monkey or the ox. They're like Oxman. I call it. That's like we was winning money. Anyway, I don't gamble like that anymore. Shout out to everybody, man. Man, I see everybody watching in the audience. Look, guys, let's close it out. I'm sorry to Dope Female Trainer. She had to leave early. That girl Sophie had to leave early, so they had to bail out. When she was waving, I didn't know she was waving goodbye. I thought she was waving at Shaq, who already left.
Yeah, she was leaving her message in the chat letting you know.
No, I saw the message, but I thought that message was I thought Shaq had left a message. I missed it. All right. Well, anyway, shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Shaq for joining. I appreciate them for joining. Everybody, we're going to close it there. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great show. Man, this one, we're going to have to change the name because we basically stayed on why do men sit in their car? Ain't go in the house. This was the episode. The other one, don't play with a man's yada, yada, yada. We're going to have to do that another time. So
I was looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, it will be. So look, you guys, tomorrow night we're going to be filming an episode. This episode actually did go live tonight. So tomorrow night we will film another episode, and that one will have to appear on July 4th because we're going to take the 4th of July off. All right, guys, I'll see y'all on the next episode of After Dark, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining, man. It's Dave, man. Appreciate y'all.
Man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All of y'all. Thank you, everybody.